everybody, Monica Garrett here with another WordPress tutorial video for you. I am going to show you how to create your first blog post. Now, I know this is one of the first videos in our series for the WordPress tutorials, and I think this is one of the first things that you're going to want to do on your own. So let's get to it. So once you log into your website in the back end, you're going to see the dashboard, and we kind of talked about this in the quick overview in our first video in the WordPress tutorial overview, and just sort of looking at what is going on in the back end of this WordPress dashboard and the interface. So what you're going to see is there's a couple of ways, there's actually multiple ways to really write your first blog post. And I'll just quickly show you a few of the shortcuts and then we'll get to it. So over here we have this quick draft. Quick draft is great if you have these great ideas, you're not sure, you're not ready to format it or really get long-winded with it, but you can just go ahead and say idea for tomorrow. And this is my idea. So what you're going to do is just save this draft. So this is sort of your little notebook over here of draft blog post ideas and things you just want to save, but you just haven't really thought through yet or haven't really written out, completely. So you just want to keep it there and keep it within your WordPress site so that you can easily get to it and be like, oh yes, I need to work on that one or whatnot. So this is a really cool, quick tool just to get those thoughts out and on there. The other spot is this plus sign where it says new at on the top bar of your site, and you can see it says new post. So that's another way we can get to that. And then over here on the left hand bar it says post, and you can add new as well. So since I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and click on this one. So it's going to take me to this add new post, and this is the exact interface that you're going to see as well. Just the left hand bar, remember, is always going to be different based on plugins and different things that you've downloaded for your WordPress site or that help your WordPress site run. For example, you might have IDX integration, or you might have a plugin like Lifter, which completely can hold a full course. Online course on your website, or you have an e-commerce site. So there's always, it's going to be different here for everybody, but this is the basic interface for sure. So you can see up here we have add new post. We're going to enter our title here. This is where we're going to be typing. And these are the basic tools that we have to do that. So we can add media, but you click that, it'll take you to your library, your media library, or you can upload files. So I've uploaded a couple of images here. And what you want to take note of is when you upload files, you want to make sure that you change the name of, see here it says irenewebsite.jpg. So that's the JPEG of this image, but you want to change it for your SEO purposes to a really strong name, right? So whatever it is on that particular blog post, so maybe this one could have been, custom website design. Lakewood, California, whatever it is that you're talking about in this article, that will really help with your SEO. And you have to do it when you first upload this image. You don't want to do it afterward and come back and be like, oh damn, so this one's just called something generic and I still need to do my alt text. The alt text is where the important part is, and I'll do another video on some SEO stuff, but this is just your quick tip when you're uploading images for your blog post, because it's really important to do it right away as soon as you upload it. So if I were to just have uploaded this, it's going to give me something like this. So I'll change this name to elevator pitch for creatives, right? So that's a little bit of a stronger search engine word for this image. So this image can pop up under Google Images for these keywords, right? So I like to do it as the title, the alt text, and just the description as well. Just alt text is the important one. These are just sort of backups, doesn't hurt, so might as well. So we're going to go ahead and insert, looks like it's getting cut off here. So insert into post. I'll shorten this up so we can see it all. There we go. Insert into post. Insert. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to pull in this image here. And there's a couple of ways we can format it. So say this is your title, right? Intro to this blog. And then you have this image. You have a few different alignments that you can do for the text wrap. So, you can have the text on the left, the right, or the center. You can have no text wrap. So getting a little crafty with how much content you have here. You can see as soon as I started typing, it's going to push it down here. So let's say align right, align left, and center. I tend to format them in the center, since when you're viewing a blog post, whether it's mobile or on a desktop, you're going to be scrolling up and down. Unless this image is small, which you can do something like this to scale the size. Actually, we'll go edit, and here you can change the size. So say you want it to be 250. It's registering the alignment here. We don't need a caption unless you wanted to say something like photo by me. If you want them to click on it and open it in a new tab, that's going to take them away from your website. So just remember some, little details like that. So we're going to go ahead and upload this. So now you can see it's smaller. There's a little caption, and their text wrap, it's aligned center. So maybe we want to do it over here. So I'm kind of liking what's going on so far. I have an image, I have some copy, I have a caption of the image saying, photo crediting who the image is by. And what I want you to see on these small tools that you have here, right now we are using this paragraph option, right? But you have these other settings for styling the text, which again, your website would have custom ones, depending on the CSS or the just overall styling of the theme. But you want to take those into consideration. So let's go ahead and just see what this is looking like. So remember, this is our paragraph styling, and this is a heading 1 styling, right? So I like to just come over here and click the preview. And this is what it's going to look like. So you can see this column is where the meat of the blog post is, right? So this image is 250 pixels all around. If I had it larger, say 1,000, it would probably go full width of this column. So unless it's, what I would suggest is if this is a little image like this and it's nothing that needs to be read, and maybe it's a cute little graphic or something, having it that size isn't a problem. But if you're having something that you want to eventually be pinned from your site or shared on other social media platforms, make it big. So I tend to make my graphics, like this exact graphic here is created 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. It'll be legible. So let's go back over here to see what we got going. So let's say we do, oops, let's just see if this will go back. We're going to have it centered. So we're going to preview that again. And this is always nice where you're able to play with what it looks like before you publish. So see how this is a larger image, now it's legible and it's taking up this full space here. And usually sidebars, don't come this far in, so it would probably be even wider. But that's just something to consider when you're creating those graphics. Maybe you're creating them in Canva, which is a free online source, or you're creating them yourself. So then here is, so say you've decided on the title of your blog post, which there's a lot of strategy behind writing blog posts and, considering SEO and all of those sorts of things, which I feel like I'm gonna have to do another video on that for SEO for blog posts. But let's just say this is our title. So you're gonna enter your title here as well. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna change your slug. So this is called the slug, which is the end part of your permalink or the complete URL of your blog post, right? So that's going to go here as well. And the reason I suggest writing your title last is because that's going to show up in that link. And if you change it, this isn't going to change. And if you ever change this, then people won't find the original article they were looking for, right? So I always leave that to the end to make sure the article is exactly how I want it. It's the correct title for the article, you know, what I'm covering, what I'm talking about, and it's great for SEO. So you don't want anything like, I had a great idea the other day. You want it to be great ideas for entrepreneurs, right? So you need to be exact and precise in considering SEO strategies there. But we'll get into that later. So say you're just writing your basic blog post. So here you can write some type. Say you don't want this image here, so you can just delete it. So then we can just start to format some of these things. Maybe you need this to be bold, maybe italic. Maybe you need to create a bulleted list or a numbered list. Here's an option to do quotes and insert links. You can remove a link. So those are the basics of this. Now, what I'm going to do is gather some Lorem Ipsum for you, just to place in here. I apologize, I should have done this before, but that wasn't too bad. So say this is our copy, right? And we're going to preview it again. So you can go right over here and hit preview and open that new tab. So now we can see what the type is looking like, what a bold section is, what our title, little subhead here. We have our title here. So title idea 2 here, intro to this blog. So let's just say we want to do this one as heading 3. So we'll preview that. We'll check over here. So that's a little bit smaller than our main header, so that looks good. Let's see. So we'll enter that image again, just to have something. So this is in the center here is where all of that is going to go. So that's the basic. You got your copy and you have your images of your blog post, right? You have your title. So then what you're going to want to do is over on the right hand side are some additional tools for right before you publish. So right now what this is telling us is that it's a draft. It's visible to the public and you can publish immediately once you hit this publish. You can always change this to publish at a different time. So say you want this blog post to go up Friday morning. Now this is military time, so you want to take that into consideration. That always throws me off. So let's see. The readability and the SEO. The readability is going to be decided through the Yoast plugin over here. And you can see this little orange circle, the readability. It's telling us that there's a couple of red dots here. So 50% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, which is more than the recommended maximum of 25%. Try to shorten the sentences. So these are some tips on how to get it better. More green is best. Obviously, orange is in the middle, and we don't want any red. So on this next tab, it's the SEO, and you're going to do your focus keyword here. This is the snippet of what it would look like on a search engine like Google, for example. So if you actually click on this section here, these will open up. So you want to do your SEO title, just the same as your, let's see, blog post title up here. So we'll just paste that there. So you can see this bar is guiding you on how well it's going to score an overall strategy with SEO. So say we just put our meta description, which is the exact description of that page. What is this page talking about? You can see the slug here, which we talked about from the page URL. So you want to make sure that that's correct and how you want it. Right now it says title intro when our topic is title idea 2. So you might want to change that. The focus keyword usually is probably the same or very similar to your headline. You can mark this article as a cornerstone content article, which means that it's one that you're really proud of. It's one of your top 5 of, you know, representing what you write about on your blog and what you focus on, and it'll be the most relevant and of interest to your viewers. So let's see. So that's some of the SEO things, and this color markers will change according to how you format those things. Once you hit publish, it will go live if you have this publish immediately here. So just take that into consideration. Always just go ahead and hit that preview. You can save draft and it'll save it as a working document in WordPress, and you can always just come back to it that way as well. So even if you're not ready to publish and you're not sure when you want to publish in the future, just go ahead and save draft and it'll keep it saved in your draft section over here, which I'll show you. This format, it's usually standard. You can play around with these other settings, but I tend to just go standard there. Your categories, you want to make sure that you have at least 5 categories for your readers to choose from, which are going to be, you know, again, those top 5 subjects that you're going to cover. Right here you can see some examples that I have. So maybe you talk about new construction because you're a realtor. Maybe this one is going to talk about some rentals as well, but maybe we want to focus that it's winter rentals. So you can add new categories and add subcategories. So the main one would be the parent category, and then you can create the subcategories here. Your tags, again, you don't want to overload with tags here. But you can choose, see, this is going to give you some great suggestions here. Rentals, real estate rentals in California. So those are some really great tags there that the more that you add, the more options there are on your website, right? When people come to find articles that you've written, it's best to limit it to, you know, less than 10 tags that you're consistently using. If I were to say, rentals near the beach in the summer, right? Like that's a pretty long-winded tagline for keyword searching, and I might not ever write something about that again, but I most likely will be writing about rentals or real estate again, or especially real estate rentals in California. So you want to keep that in mind when you're choosing your tags here. Your featured image, depending on how your blog is formatted and laid out, you're going to have the option to choose this featured image, and it might show up on your preview or not. It's a setting. So here you can see this is the featured image. So it's sort of that main headline, main teaser, and it leads into the blog post here. Not everybody's likes that or has that styled into their blog layout. So it might be formatted where you have this option to still include a featured image, but it doesn't show on your blog post. And I do that on a lot of our designs in our sites, because when somebody would share this link, right? This link here of the page, and say they share it on social media. You know how Facebook does a little preview image. It's going to pull up this featured image. And so that's when you want to take into consideration what this is. If your blog setup does it where it shows up like this and you don't want that, it's a simple setting that we can change. And I actually recommend it because it's a little overwhelming. It's not necessary. And yeah, but that's where that is, and why, how you can use it otherwise, you know, if not in the actual blog post. So that's everything on the right-hand side. So these are a few options here. So we have the revisions, we have our SEO, and these are all just drop-down menus. So we have the main area where we're going to write our blog post. We're going to make sure that we have it SEO friendly and ready. We're going to take into consideration these prompts that they're suggesting and errors that they suggest to fix. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this one because I think it's ready. And what you can do is you can just go right here to the view post. And it'll open that page up right away. And this is what it looks like. And that's perfect. So it has been posted, it is live, and that is how you write your blog post.